Hello everyone, this is Susan Itel with Simple Stamping, and today is your tips for Tuesday. I decided to do a video for you, and our topic today is our envelopes. I am asked this quite often on how do I do the envelopes. One of the common questions I get asked is, do I have a template? Do I have to trace? And the answer is no. It is so unbelievably easy. So I'm going to show you how you can make your own beautiful envelopes as well. Here's an example of just using a strip of cardstock along with a designer series paper, and presto, it pulls that whole card and envelope together. Here's another example that I used a square card. You know, I love square cards. I used the envelope punch board to make my envelope, and then all I did was put adhesive on the back flap and added the DSP and then cut around. So I think that makes a really handsome card. And this one's a little bit more intricate, but it was a huge hit at Christmas time. I love my little Merry Mice. They will never leave Randall Lane. This was a check enclosure, and then this was a custom envelope I made. And you can see here how I used different widths of cardstock for interest, as well as using a just 1-inch square of all of the colors that pulled the whole ensemble together. So let's get going, because you are going to not believe how easy this is. We are going to be working with our regular A2 size card, and the best thing I can say to you is just remember to cut at 6 inches wide. Pull in my trimmer, and I wanted to share with you and show that if you just say 6 inches wide, then you're really good to go, that you know that the width is plenty for the envelopes. And I now like to just cut my DSP to 2 inches. Now, if you find that you do not have a whole bunch of 2 inches of a designer series paper, don't worry about it, because you could easily do 2 strips of cardstock. So let's get going, and I'm going to show you how easy this is. This is Sweet Sugar Plum. I always take my swatch books and I look on the back to see what colors coordinate, so then I know it's my go-to color to find for the cardstock. And I know this is going to be really hard for you to see, but I'll tilt it down. I have a huge container of scraps, and I have to say I pull from them quite often for my envelopes. But if not, just take a piece of cardstock that's 6 inches wide, and I always like to use this side of the trimmer when I'm cutting smaller increments. So you can do it at 1/4 of an inch. That looks super. Lately, I don't know why, I've been kind of in this thing of doing 3/8 of an inch. So that's 3/8 of an inch. Or you could do a full, let's do a full 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to take a coordinating color, which will be the mint macaron. And let me see if I can get this in here and cut nice and straight. It's going to be tough, but I think I can do it. Yep, I did it. Okay, we're going to have a little strip there. So let's have fun. So the main thing that you are going to want to have is, I like to use the tear and tape and the green glue. Now, I will also share with you another tear tape that I do use as well, and I will link it down below in the video. But what I like to do is take the tear and tape and take 1 strip against that upper seam, because one of the questions I'm asked a lot is, does it get ripped when it goes through the mail? And the best answer I can give to you is no. I've never had anyone say it does, and I just like to anchor this one with the tear and tape. And I always use little pokey tool, pull that off. And then all we're going to do is place that 1/4 of an inch strip down. You can see how that's adhered. You can even see that there's still a little bit of goo there that you could probably just put your designer series paper. But all I do is add a little bit of the green glue all the way around. And again, if you want to be extra careful, you can go ahead and add some there, just in case your tear and tape didn't go all the way down. And this is how hard it is. This is, again, is just 2 inches by 6 inches. And then all I do is push it right up to that edge, give it a little bit of a rub down, and honestly, that is it. So once I pick it up, you can see where the excess is. And then all I do is take a pair of scissors, and this is where it's so fast and it's so easy. I always cut into the envelope a little bit because then I know my adhesive is good and stuck. You can even see I kind of went a little overboard on this one. Look at all the envelope that's there. But that's okay because look, the end result still works out. So let's do another one, and this time we are going to do 2 colors, and I'll show you how much fun that is. This is basically the same tear and tape. It's from a different company. It's a little bit wider, and like I said, I will link it down below. And I like to use this wider if I'm using a wider strip. So we're going to go ahead and remove that, discard that, and let's go ahead and put this one. This is 3/8 of an inch, so this one's a little bit wider than the first one we did. We're going to put that down, and then let's take this 1/4 of an inch. And we're going to put that down. And now we'll go ahead and just add the green glue. Remember, your green glue comes out pretty fast. So you just, once you get the hang of it, you get it. And I have to say, it is to me, a lifesaver. I just think it's a fabulous, fabulous product. And then again, this is just the same drill, 2 inches by 6 inches. And then we're going to put it down. Give it a little press. I bet you guys are going, oh my gosh, I had no idea it was this easy. See, I could have even actually cut that designer series paper down even smaller, but we're not going to worry about it. There's a lot of times that I will take designer series paper and just go ahead and take a sheet if I know I'm making a bunch of the same card and just go ahead and cut them all down to 6 inches by 2. And there you go. Isn't that pretty? So here's the first one that has just the single strip, and here's the second one. Now I'm going to show you that you can also do it with something that's embossed. Now, I'm not a huge fan of using green glue with embossing, but for envelope's sake, you're fine. You can get by with it. So let's go back to our envelope. We are just going to take our tear and tape again, and this is wonderful stuff. I mean, do you remember the red line tape, how the static and how it used to get all over us? Ugh, this is just a dream machine. Go ahead and pull that release paper off. And let's go ahead and use this mint macaron. Put that down. Now you can see that I embossed this with a large polka dot embossing folder. I love this folder. And again, it's 6 inches. And I think this one might be a little bit wider than 2 inches. It looks it. I just used a scrap. Yeah, it's 2.5 inches. This is the best ruler in the whole wide world. Highly recommend these clear rulers. And you can see how I'm just putting the green glue on the edges. And then just adding the embossed piece. Now you're going to have to give this one just probably a little bit tighter of a push down. And you might even want to let it set up a little bit because, you know, chances are you might have some green glue underneath one of those bumps. But we're going to go ahead and cut this excess away. And you see how quick that is? Now these are the old scissors that Stampin' Up! Had that were the best things in the world. You can easily use your paper snips, but I use the craft scissors. And there you go. So let's pull back in all 3 of the envelopes. You can see how quick, how fast it was, and how beautiful it was. So I hope that this made sense. I hope that this answered a lot of your questions that you have. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me either by email or shoot me a text or give me a phone call. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks a bunch for stopping in. Have a great day.